Hi, Rice families. This week I wanted to talk to you about the developmental progression of handwriting, starting with our pre-writing lines and moving towards letters and the developmental progression of developing those letters. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is that the first pre-writing strokes that we work on, you guys know, vertical line, horizontal line, ad nauseum, right? The first step is for the child to be able to imitate them, which means I draw it, then they draw it. The second step is for them to be able to copy it, which means there is a sample of the line. I don't draw it, it's just there, and then they copy that line. And we're looking for this in the yellow, green, and the blue room mostly. And then once they develop that, then they move to being able to draw a circle and intersecting lines. And we focus on this from the green, blue, all the way up until the pink room. And then the next step is to develop the ability to draw a square and a triangle. And that usually comes around pink to red all the way up to kindergarten. Okay, so usually once a child is able to make these intersecting lines, you'll see these letters emerge. And at the same time, we'll also see shapes emerge as well. So L, F, E, H, T, U, and I all use horizontal and vertical lines. The U, kind of has a little curve at the bottom, but that'll usually develop later as it's a harder letter. These ones over here are easier. They're going to develop first. And at the same time, you'll start to see, the square and the rectangle emerge as well. Once a child has mastered drawing a circle, or really a C shape, the circle will come next, then the Q, the G, the S, and the J. And then as they refine those drawing big curves and little curve kind of skills, then they'll be able to translate those to the D and the P and the B. So this is the order of easiest to hardest once they have those circular strokes or being able to draw a circle down. Okay, so letters that have diagonals in them are the hardest letters to draw and are the ones that are going to emerge last. So if your child is struggling with diagonal letters, you need to go back and make sure that they're able to do those pre-writing lines and the other letters first before you introduce them, unless they are letters in their name, because sometimes when it's their name, it's more important to them, and so they can master it faster. And then that's a little caveat. Handwriting Without Tears talks about that if it's in their name, it's okay to go ahead and introduce it out of developmental sequence. But as far as developmental sequence goes, the R, the K, and the A are going to come with the ability to draw a triangle, and these more complicated diagonals will come with the ability to draw a diamond. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's important to know what the developmental progression is, because it allows us as parents to kind of assess where our child is and understand the next step of where they need to go and push them in, still have high expectations and push them though in that developmental sequence so that we don't have any gaps, and so that we're pushing them in a way that they get to be success-based and we're not expecting too much too soon or expecting something when we haven't given them the tools or teaching yet for the skill that's in the middle. And so I just like to share that with you so that you can be armed with that information and understand and not get frustrated. If we're working on letter N for the week and your child can't write a letter N, that's okay. That is a letter that doesn't typically come sometimes until kindergarten. So, don't be frustrated if you have a kid in the blue or the pink or the red room and they can't write a letter N yet. That's a little bit advanced. So you want to make sure they've mastered those other letters that come before that first, the horizontal and vertical letters, the circular letters, before you expect mastery of the diagonal letters. So that should keep your child motivated and keep you motivated and both of you feeling successful.